Hello students, welcome to today's session. In the last video I explained for loop, and in this video we'll see while loop and do while. So as I told you in the previous video that every loop will contain three elements, okay? Initialization, condition and update statement. So both while and do while, they have all these three elements, okay? Only the placement is different. For example, in case of while loop, the initialization happens before the loop starts, okay? So the loop is starting here, but the initialization is happening here. So this variable I, it is being used in the condition part of the while loop. So it has been initialized before the loop, okay? And the syntax is like this: first you write the while keyword, then open a pair of parentheses, and inside the parenthesis you will have the condition, okay? And then of course you will have the curly brackets to denote the loop body, and inside the loop body you have the update statement, okay? So apart from this, there is no other difference between for loop and while loop. The only advantage of for loop is that it allows you to do initialization and update in a single statement, okay? Initialization, condition and update, all three can be done in a single statement. This is the advantage of for loop. So here in this program, I is initialized with 1 and the condition here is I is less than equal to 10. That means and the loop, the variable I is increasing by 1 in each iteration, okay? That means the loop will run 10 times, okay, and it will print 1 to 10. So as you can see in the output, it's printing 1 to 10. And if I come out of the loop, okay, and print the value of I, so it will print 11. So as you can see, 1 to 10 is being printed inside the loop, and then outside the loop I am printing the value of I, which is 11. Now why is this 11? I have explained while explaining for loop. The loop run 10 times, okay? Let's say the value of I is 10, so the condition will be true, control will come inside, 10 will be printed, then the value of I will become 11, okay? Then control comes to the update part, to the condition part, and here the condition is checked. 11 is less than equal to 10, which is false. So the control comes out of the loop to line number 15 and 11 is printed. So both while and do while are known as entry controlled, okay? Because the control can enter the loop body only when the condition is true, both in case of while and for loop, okay? Now let's see do while loop. So do while is here in this loop also you will have the initialization happening before the loop body, okay? So you can see here is the do keyword is there, after that a pair of curly brackets is there, and then condition is there, okay, after the while keyword, and then it's terminated by a semicolon. So don't forget to put this semicolon while using do while, okay? And this is the loop body denoted by the curly brackets, okay? So initialization is happening here, update is happening inside the loop body, and the condition is being checked here, okay? So in this loop the control, okay, let's say the line number 7 executes, I is initialized with 1, okay, and the control will directly enter inside the loop body without checking any condition. Okay, this is the when the control comes to the do while loop first time, it directly enters the loop without checking any condition. So do while guarantees that the loop will execute at least once, okay, and when all the statements are executed inside the body one time, then control comes to the condition part and the condition is checked. If the condition is true, then again the body will be executed, else the control will exit the loop. Okay. So here I is initially 1, control comes inside, 1 is printed, I becomes 2, control condition comes here, okay, condition comes to this part. You can see that the value of I is 2, so the condition becomes 2 is less than equal to 0, which is false. So it will the loop will execute only one time and it will print 1. Okay. Initially, if you see the value of I is 1, okay, and the condition here is I 1 less than equal to 0, which is already false. But as I told you, the control enters the loop for the first time without checking any condition. Okay. So the output is 1. Let's have a look. So as you can see, the output is 1. Now let's talk about break and continue, which are the jump statements available that can be used inside loops. Okay. So let's make a loop here. For int I is equal to 1, I is less than equal to 10, I plus plus. Now let's say I write a condition here. If I modulus 2 is equal to, or let's say I modulus 3 is equal to 0, okay, then I will use the break keyword. Else I will print the value of I. So what will happen here is that I will be initialized with 1, condition will be 1 less than equal to 10, control comes inside since the condition is true. Okay. Now here the condition is checked, 1 modulus 3 is equal to 0, this is false. So break will not execute, control will come to line number 13, and in line number 13 I will print the value of I. Okay. So 1 is printed. Now control will come to the update part, I will become 2, condition becomes 2 less than equal to 10. Okay. Control comes inside again and the condition here is 2 modulus 3 is equal to 0, which is false. So control comes to line number 13 and 2 gets printed. Okay. 1 was already printed, now 2 gets printed. Again I will be updated, it will become 3, control will come to the to the condition part and it will become 3 less than equal to 10, which is true. Control comes inside and now the condition is 3 modulus 3 is equal to 0, which is true. Okay. So the break statement will execute this time and it will cause the control to come outside the loop. Okay. It will exit the loop. So the output will be just 1 and 2. So as you can see, the output is 1 and 2. Let's put one more print line statement outside the loop. Okay, outside the loop, and let's print Java. So this time the output should be to Java. Okay, 1 to Java. So I hope you have understood how the break keyword works inside a loop. It causes the control to come outside the loop when it is executed. And let's talk about continue now. Okay. So I've just replaced the break keyword with continue in line number 11. So let's see what will happen here. First, I will be initialized with 1, condition is 1 less than equal to 10, control comes inside. So the condition will become 1 modulus 3, which is false. Okay, 1 modulus 3 is not equal to 0, so this is false, continue will not execute, control comes to this line and 1 is printed. Again updation happens and now the condition is 2 less than equal to 10, control comes inside and now the if statement's condition is 2 modulus 3 is equal to 0. So this is also false. Now control comes to the update part, condition becomes 3 less than equal to 10, control comes inside and inside in line number 10 the condition becomes 3 modulus 3 is equal to 0, which is true. This is true. So this time the continue statement will execute. Okay, and it will cause the control to go back to the update statement. It will cause the control to go back to the update statement of the loop. Okay, and so this time line number 13 will be skipped. Okay, whatever statements are there after the continue statement, all those statements are skipped. So now the control is here, I will become 4 now. Okay, so 4 less than equal to 10, control comes inside, condition is false, so this time 4 will be printed. Okay, so far on the screen we have 1 2 4. Okay, similarly I will become 5, then 5 will be printed, 6 will also be 6 will not be printed because 6 is divisible by 3, 6 is divisible by 3, so 6 will not be printed. 7 will be printed, 8 will be printed, okay, and 10 will be printed. So the output is 1 2 4 5 7 8 10. Okay, so let's have a look at the output. So as you can see, 1 2 4 5 7 and 10 is printed, and outside the loop we have a print line statement which just prints Java. Okay, so Java is printed at last. So this is how the continue statement works. It takes the control back to the update statement. Okay, now in case of while and do while loop, okay, the continue statement causes the control to go back to the condition. Okay, it causes the control to go back to the condition and not to the update statement, so you must be careful about it. Okay, only in the case of for loop it takes the control to the update statement, but in case of while and do while, the control goes to the condition due to the continue statement. So I have written the same program again. Okay, so you see initially I is 0, condition is true, control comes inside, I becomes 1. Okay, now 1 modulus 3 is equal to 0, this is false, so this will not execute, so 1 will get printed. Okay, so I value is 1 now, condition is checked, 1 less than equal to 10, condition is true, control comes inside, I becomes 2, now the condition is 2 modulus 3 is equal to 0, condition is false again, so continue will not execute, control will come to the condition part. Okay, condition part, the condition is 2 modulus 3 is equal to 0, which is sorry, the condition here is 2 less than equal to 10, which is true. Control comes inside, I becomes 3 here. Okay, control comes to line number 12. The condition here is 3 modulus 3 is equal to 0, which is true. So since it is true, the remaining statements will be skipped, and the control will directly go back to the condition. Okay, and 3 less than equal to 10, this is the condition. Control comes to line number 10, I will become 4. Now 4 modulus 3 is equal to 0, that is false. So control comes here and 4 is printed. So you will see exactly the same output which we saw in the case of for loop. Okay, so 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, 8, 10 and 11. So this is it, friends. We have discussed the basics of for, while, do while, and also we saw break and continue. Now in the following videos to come, I'll be discussing many questions based on loops. So we'll stop here for now. Thank you.